This is the maximize score problem. So what the problem statement is, initially Alice and Bob will play a game. You will be giving an array of n elements. Alice will choose some index I. So then the Bob can choose the adjacent index to I, and the score will be mod of a of I minus a of j. So Bob wants to maximize the score and Alice wants to minimize his score, right? See, let us understand through this test case. See, if our array is this 1, 10, 14, 20, and I mapped the indexes above. So if our Alice chooses the 0th index, then can I say since the left index is not existing, he can't pick the left and he can only pick the right element. Then the absolute difference of these two scores is 9. So he will only pick 9, right? He will only pick 9 for the first index. If our Alice chooses the 0th index, then he can only pick 9, right? Then he can only get the score as 9. Now if our Alice chooses the 1th index, then he can get the absolute difference of these two. See, if our Alice picks 1th index, then Bob can choose either 0th index. If he chooses the 0th index, then he can get the score of 9. If he chooses the index 2, then he gets the score of 4. Now, what is the maximum value of these two? That is 9, right? So, since our Bob wants to maximize his score, definitely he will choose the maximize whatever the index is providing as the maximum value, he will choose that index, right? So now here he will choose again 0th index. When Alice chooses 1th index, then Bob choose 0th index. Since it is giving us the maximum value, then choosing the second index. So now he will get for the, see here I can get here I'll just I'm just writing the Bob's maximum score for each index. So if Alice chooses a particular ith index, then what is the maximum score that Bob can get? I was writing those values here. See, if our Alice chooses the second index, our Bob can get the absolute difference of these two as 4, and these two, because to the right he will get 6. Now what is the maximum of 4 comma 6? That is 6, right? So if our Alice chooses the second index, then Bob can get maximum score of 6, right? Now you again go for the third index. Since the right index does not exist, you'll just stop, so he can't pick the right, and you can check it with the previous value. So what is the absolute difference of that? That is 6. Now you have written all possibilities of Bob. See, you have written all the maximum score for each index what Bob can get. Now what you need to do, you just need to simply return the minimum value, right? So wherever for whatever the index the Bob is getting a low score, Alice will pick that index, and he will minimize the Bob score, right? So this is simply just an implementation problem. I can just make you go through that in just 2 minutes. Yeah. So I'm just including the files. Yeah, in the main, and we will take the test cases. And after taking the test cases, you just take the input, which is n, and you need to take an array of n elements. So I have taken a vector and I'm taking the elements, same array of I. Yeah. Now I will create a Bob score vector in Bob. So what I'll store this in my Bob vector. For every index, what is the maximum score that Bob can get? I will store those values in this vector, right? So I'll just iterate and you know see initially I'm taking left and right score. This is my left index score and right index score. Initially I'm taking it as -1. Why? Because if by chance if does not exist, then it should return me the minimum value. So after returning the maximum answer, it will be eliminated. You'll just observe that, right? So if your left index exists, then can I say your left will be the absolute difference between your current index minus the left index, right? That will be your left score. And if your right index exists, then your right score will be absolute array of I plus array of I plus 1. Now Bob will take the maximum score of left and right, right? Since see here, if you're standing at 10, you'll check with 1 and you'll check with 14. Whatever gives you the maximum absolute difference, you will the Bob will take that, right? So I pushed that maximum score. Now what you need to do, you just simply return the minimum score in Bob, right? Bob dot size. You'll just go through the Bob score. Whatever is the minimum score, you just AAlice will take that index and you can just simply return that, right? If I submit this, I think it should be running fine enough. Compilation error, where I have done the mistake. Dot size, sorry, I not able to return, right? We need to print it. So I'll just quickly submit this off. Now it should be running fine. Dot size left equal to -1. Pushing this. Where there is a no chance of mistake. We'll take the minimum and we'll take the maximum. I'll just figure it out. So yeah, this problem is by the space. Now it will be running fine. It will be running fine. Yeah, you can see that gives me the correct answer. So that's what it is. If you understand this, just please do make a like and subscribe.